Let's jump to their next album now, which is Sum 41's Underclass Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Mike, you go first.
You're gonna make me go first. What are you doing? This album is one big freaking ripoff. And it rips off so many albums and songs. It is insane. I sat there listening to this thing, and literally I could pick 5 or 6 different bands' songs that this freaking album ripped off, from Green Day to Blink 182 to freaking, to Sum 41's previous songs that they released. It literally used the same vocal pattern, the same vocal chorus, the same guitar part. I mean, it was outstanding how many of these songs sound the same and have this almost reuse the same vocal parts. It was mind-boggling. I was listening to this album, and to be honest with you, it's actually, so it's not, the songs aren't bad songs in the sense of keeping you interested, but it's like watching a show and then you look behind the curtain and you realize there's just nothing going on back there except just loud noises and lights. You know what I mean? It's you see that the process they're going through, it just reuses and regurgitates the same thing over and over again. And I was so shocked when I was listening to this album that I was just I don't even know how to rate it, because I almost feel like it belongs to other bands. You know what I mean? It almost belongs to this song belongs to that band's vocal pattern. Adam's song by Blink 182. I literally hummed that alongside of one of the first tracks to this song. You literally can go alongside that song, and it only changes a couple notes to make it not be a freaking lawyer's wet dream. You know what I mean? And it's literally, it was so disappointing, and I just was like, what happened? They were just, it almost feels, it almost feels like what's going on with our band right now? People need to be reminded of that we're as good as these pop punk legends out there, and we put out this major album. Let's just try to sum up everybody's top songs in one album. And as I listened to it, I read a review on it. They have 3 or 4 different songs that literally sound like Green Day songs, or this song or that song, and people were upset about it, and I didn't even read the review before I realized this, and I was just dude, they nailed it on the head. So it's yeah, I don't want to give away how I feel about this album, so this still could be number 1. I just wanted to make sure
I didn't give it away.
This is number 1.
Yeah, maybe I'm just blowing smoke, but yeah, how do you guys feel?
Well, on that note, Kyle, how do you feel about this album?
Oh man, Mike, that was hysterical. So I love this album. Big shock that the guy whose favorite band of all time is Green Day absolutely adores this album. This album is, since I think Mike gave away his thoughts on the album, I'll just give away mine here. This is the last perfect front to back Sum 41 album they've ever done. I adore this album. There's not a single bad song on here. Yes, there is definitely, I'll agree with you, Mike, there is definitely some songs that you're yeah, that's definitely some, you could hear other artists' influence on them. I think this was a conscious turn away from that heavier, darker sound to go back to that happier times. But this is one of the big 3 albums of the mid 2000s for me, in terms of, we're talking pop punk / emo. First one being American Idiot, then My Chemical Romance's Black Parade, and then this one, Underclass Hero. I think all 3 of those albums I would put as the big 3 albums of the time. They all did something very, whether or not intentionally like a rock opera, very much connected song wise, front to back. This album, incredible. He had Secret Service knocking on his door for March of the Dogs. Great. I love the French song on there. actually speaking French and knowing French, that is a hysterical song. It is not appropriate for work. Don't look it up. But yeah, no, I love this. Every song, front to back. And it's one that I never get tired of hearing. Songs like Underclass Hero and Walking Disaster are what a way to start the album. But even the ballads on here, which is something that we don't really get on many other albums for the most part, like With Me, So Long Goodbye, incredible songs. Confusion and Frustration in Modern Times. Mike, is that one of the Green Day sounding ones that you were thinking of? Yeah.
Sure.
I love that one. So I mean, I think it really comes down to, this is a very polarizing album. I will say that's me and Mike having these reactions is very much reminiscent of the actual fan reception of this. There's two types of Sum 41 fans. There's your pop punk Sum 41 fans, and then there's your heavier Sum 41 fans. And how you feel about this album really depends on where you fall in line with that. For me, I personally fall into more of the pop punk sound. I do really like their metal aspects, but I don't think that as a full album that they've done that one as perfectly as they've done a pop punk album. So for me, this album is what I want to hear from them after. Plus, this is just very nostalgic for me. This was a like very much like late middle school, early high school album for me. So I have very fond memories of it, which could be tainting my judgment of it, I'll be honest. But every time I hear it now, it still brings me back to like the good old days back then. I find nothing wrong with this album. I disagree with you, Mike. This is one of the best albums there is.
But the problem with it is, I was already done listening to the songs that they used to remake this album. I had already
Doesn't matter. They made the music better on here.
I already heard all those songs, and then when I'm humming one of those songs alongside the song, I'm like, the hell, like no.
I will say the one thing is most of the songs on this album are all in the same key, which is why a lot of them sound very similar. Is they are most of them in the same exact key.
Yeah, and that also makes the singer, when he writes his choruses and his vocal patterns, his vocal harmonies, feel very almost just like lack of diversity. Like it just feels like don't fix it if it ain't broke. Like, I'm just gonna do this again because it's catchy. And like the problem with that is, though, it is catchy, but it just like, I actually just did a little experiment where I was just skipping through the songs at a fast pace and like trying to just hear a brief clip of something, and I was just like, it all sounded the same. It literally all sounded like I could have just fused them into one big song, and I would have been like, never ended. It didn't.
AKA the album. Isn't that just what an album is, Mike? Come on.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yes, but I mean, if I were to take out the beginning and take out the, put it in the middle chorus and then fuse it to the next chorus and then the next chorus and then the next chorus, I would be listening to one just long chorus of the original song. Like, it literally felt like that. I swear to God, it was crazy.
I love the sound of this album. I think production wise, it's also my favorite. I really like the style of production on here. And just the themes of the album, these are like the lyrical themes that I prefer in music, and I feel like this is really the only album that we get this on from them. A lot of their other stuff is not, I don't want to say it's not the best lyrics, but a lot of their other stuff is either earlier in their career more stereotypical pop punk lyrics, or just darker lyrics, or once we get to later in their career, there's some pretty cringy lyrics in there, but we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, this by far one of my favorite pop punk albums of all time. But I will say Dave's I can't see what that says, Mike, but I will say
it's that, backwards. Damn it.
Dave's absence is definitely noticeable on the album. Really lacks, those guitar solos that he brought to the band.
I was trying to get.
Where are you at?
Yeah, JT, where are you? I don't know if that shows up. Damn it.
Oh, was that a 7, Mike?
Mike.
It was coming up while you were talking.
Sorry, I saw it too. Well, it was a strong departure from.
Shut up, JT. No, I'm just kidding.
No, damn it, it's my show. No,
It's my show.
no. Honestly, though, for me personally, I'm gonna be the in between person here.
You are literally in between us right now.
This makes it even better. This makes it even better. I'm literally in between both of you guys right now. That's what she said. Anyways, so this is why I love doing our show. Anyways, so I personally really enjoyed this album quite a bit. Going from like the dark.
Yeah, take that, Mike.
All you see is a fist come up.
Wait, hold on. I'm not done. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, Kyle.
I was. I'm just collapsing. For those who are listening to us, I'm really sorry. But but I have to say, this Underclass Hero, definitely a fantastic pop punk sound, fantastic pop punk. I can't even talk anymore. Pop punk record. I will say that the one thing about it that kind of threw me off a little bit was it was coming off of Chuck. That's what
made it so good.
No. I didn't finish,
Chuck
guys.
Was the worst.
I didn't finish what I was talking about. Listen, coming off of Chuck, yes. What a like dark record, and this was back to when this brought it back to me. Brought it back to when I'm gonna get yelled at in about 3 seconds. But when pop punk, when they brought it back to pop punk, like quote unquote fun pop punk. Like, there wasn't too much like, darkness or like I killed my mother, or or I'm not saying that's a lyrical theme in general, but I'm just saying, there wasn't anything dark like that on there. You know what I mean? This is a very solid, fun. Mike's gonna kill me. There's a solid, fun pop punk record that I actually truly enjoyed quite a bit. However, I gave my number 1 already, but I'm curious to see where you guys go for your. I think we all know where we are at this point, but I'm gonna say I'll go first. I gave this at number 4.
Oh,
did you just dab on camera?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, bring it back, man. Bring it back.
I dab it out. That's it. Bring it back. Yes.
This is we're dabbing. We're doing.
We're falling apart here.
Yes.
What's Underclass Hero done to us?
Underclass Hero has successfully brought the Super Review Show's career retrospective panel to a new level of humiliation and fun. This is my number 4. I love it. I was surprised how much I loved it, but I had to put the other two. I had to put the. I can't even talk anymore. I'm gonna laugh my ass off at some point. All Killer No Filler was number 3, and I'm gonna put it at number 4. Yes, that's my list so far. Someone help me out here before I go start laughing even more.
This may surprise some people. This is my number 7. Nah. This is by far my number 1. It is a perfect album. They can make all their albums sound like this, and I would be so happy.
You gave it away by having it as your background, Kyle. Damn it. Man.
It's okay.
Yes.
I couldn't find this logo without the album title on
it. I hear you.
Oh my God. So I was at number 4. Kyle's at number 1. Mike,
number
where are
1.
you at with this? This is number 1.
Number
right?
1. That's a 1. That's like a 1
7.
to me.
Boys, take away the H, add a Z. This is my number 1 plus 6. It is the 7th. It is the 7th album of the 7 albums of. There still is a unreleased or unannounced album, Heaven and Hell. Apparently, is that one?
I'm so excited for that one. Yeah, the double album.
So this album technically could be 8 out of 8. I just want you to. I want to leave more room for. I want to leave more room for the bottom. I don't want to sell out to 7. I want to leave it room for 8. So I'm going to put 7 question mark.
Like Heaven and Hell is a double album. The first half of it's going to be all pop punk, so you might be surprised.
I know. I want to leave more room for the bottom, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like it's a 7 because like it could be an 8. So I'm gonna say 7 question mark. The asterisk. There you go. 7 asterisk. There you go.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's
Oh
it.
my
I'm
God.
leaving.
I'm like, pack your and get
Now
out.
Kyle has vanished from the stream. You can't even see him because he's wearing a black shirt on his black background.
Floating head.
He's in disguise now. Oh my
I
God.
know. I wish.
Oh,
No, we
God.
can't get you the floating head. Floating head.
We literally have 3 more albums to go, guys.
Woo! Woo!
All right, we got this.
All right. Just take it back. Take a breather. Underclass Hero is one of the best albums of 2007.
Of all time.
Boo you!
Of all
Boo
time.
that man who said that. Boo him.
Of all time. One of the big 3 ambitious albums of the mid 2000s.
That
Hell
is
yeah.
incorrect, sir. I will fight you. All right.
All right, kids. Listen, you youngins.
I knew this going into it. I said when we first were talking about this, I said Mike is gonna hate my favorite album, and I knew it. I called it.
I know it.
Oh
It's
God.
just,
Well,
like,
anyways,
perfect.
let's. I can't even talk.